One song. That's all it took. One song turned a young girl from Johannesburg into one of the biggest names in global music. Almost overnight. The world was asking the same question. Who is Tyla? But here's what's fascinating. Tyla didn't just become famous. She made millions of people curious. Curious about South Africa, curious about Amapiano, curious about a country that had been making incredible music for decades. And that's why this story is much bigger than one artist. It's the story of how one young woman helped bring South African pop into conversations happening all over the world. So, how did it happen? Let's find out. Every superstar has a story, every hit has a beginning, and every legend leaves a mark. Welcome to AfroBuzz Spotlight, where we go beyond the headlines to uncover Africa's celebrity stories to bring them right to you. I'm the big dog, and this is AfroBuzz Spotlight. Now, to understand Tyla, we have to take it way back a few years ago, before Water became one of the biggest songs in the world. Well, South Africa wasn't just quiet, it was still making incredible music. We had people like Black Coffee who produced major songs and proved that South African DJs could also mix in the international stages. We had Master KG who produced Jerusalem, a song that became one of the internet's dance phenomenon. And then there was Amapiano, a sound born right into South Africa's township that made its way into South Africa's clubs, then went into Africa, then Europe, then America. The music became very, very popular. But there was one thing missing. There was one thing missing in South Africa's pop star. There was no one who could define South Africa's pop music, someone who could just become famous when you mention pop from South Africa. And that's where Tyla's story came in.
You know, I honestly wanted to honor my inner child dream of always wanting to be this pop star, and how it always felt unattainable being from the bottom of Africa, literally South Africa. And now that I have been given this opportunity, I really wanted to extend the idea of what a pop star looks like from Africa. Now,
Tyla wasn't born a superstar. She grew up in Johannesburg, and like many young people, she had a dream. She loved music. She admired musicians who had made it to international levels. And the only thing that she had at the time, like any other musician, was the power of social media. And that's where she started uploading her songs and her videos online.
I used to post a lot of covers, and I used to enter singing competitions. There used to be these apps where you could win money. Anything that I could do, I would do. And yeah, I would just record music every weekend.
At the time, there was nothing to suggest she would become one of Africa's biggest stars. No one could have predicted it, because success in music doesn't happen overnight. And behind every overnight success are years that people don't talk about. Writing songs, recording, getting rejected, trying again. And that's exactly what Tyla did. But she kept believing in herself because the rest of the world didn't know her name. Then came 2023. Tyla released a song called Water. At first, it looked like just another single. But then something incredible happened. People started sharing it, then dancing to it. Then celebrities joined in.
So first, your hand goes up, and the whole time you just...
I can't even do that. Hold on, is something moving? Okay.
Yes, so your hand goes up, then you sweat, then you jump.
Jump?
Yes, and then you ga.
Uh-oh, ga. What? And then you ga.
Now within weeks, the song was everywhere. TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, clubs, radios, and suddenly, everywhere, millions of people around the world who never knew or never listened to any South African music, they were singing along to a new song called Water. And Tyla didn't abandon her roots to appeal the audience or the international audience. Instead, she brought the culture to them. In all her R&B songs, pop songs, whatever songs that she did, she brought the South African culture to the international audience, to the international stage. And that's how Tyla changed the international pop star music. But Water wasn't the end of the story. It was only the beginning, because people wanted to know who Tyla was, and because of that, they started following her fashion, her interviews, her performances, and little by little, they were interested in South Africa itself. People wanted to know more about Amapiano, they wanted to know more about South African artists, they wanted to know more about the culture that produced someone like Tyla. And now this wasn't about Tyla, it now became a cultural movement. So the question is, did Tyla put South African music on the global stage? Maybe that's not the right question to ask, because before even Tyla evolved, there were other artists that were already growing, and things like Amapiano, they were being pushed on a different level. But what did Tyla do? Tyla gave millions of people a face they could connect with. She helped introduce South African pop to a much wider audience. And in doing so, she inspired a new generation of artists to dream bigger. The amazing thing is, her story is still being written. She's still growing, still evolving, still breaking barriers, which means the biggest chapter of her career may still be ahead of her. And if that's true, the world hasn't seen the best of Tyla just yet. Now, if you enjoyed this edition of AfroBuzz Spotlight and you have reached till the end, I have a question to ask you. Do you think Tyla is getting started, or has she become one of South Africa's global phenomenon? Let me know in the comments below, and remember to subscribe, like, and keep it AfroBuzz, where Africa stars come alive.